बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरा नाम फ़ातिमा सलीमा है। मेरा ताल्लुक़ गवर्नमेंट डिग्री करारी बराए ख़वातीन चरालूम बहावलपुर से है। हमारा आज का लेक्चर है एडोब फोटोशॉप। एडीपी फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर के साथ हमारा आज सेकंड लेक्चर है एडोब फोटोशॉप। इसमें हम पढ़ेंगे एडोब फोटोशॉप। एडोब फोटोशॉप is a raster graphic editor developed and published by Adobe Inc. For Windows, it was originally created in 1988 by Thomas and John Knoll. Since then, the software has become the industry standard not only in raster graphic editing but in digital art as a whole. The software name has thus become a generic trademark, leading to its usage as a verb. Photoshop and image photoshopping and Photoshop content. Although Adobe discoveries such use Photoshop can edit and compose raster image in multiple layers and sports mask, alpha compositing, and a survival color model including RGB CMYK, slab, sports color, and Duton. Photoshop uses its own PSD and PSB file format to support these features. In addition to the raster graphic, Photoshop has limited abilities to edit or render text and vector graphic, as well as 3D graphics and videos. Its feature set can be expanded by plug in programs developed and distributed independently of Photoshop that run inside it and offer new or enhanced features. Photoshop naming scheme was intended based on version numbers. However, in October 2002, each new version of Photoshop was designed with CS poly number. The 8th major version of Photoshop was Photoshop CS, and the 9th was Photoshop CS2. Photoshop CS3 through CS6 were also distributed into different editions, standard and extended with the introduction of the Creative Code branding. In June 2013, Photoshop's licensing scheme was changed to that of software as a survival rental mode. Historical Photoshop was bundled with additions software such as Adobe Image Ready, Adobe Firework, Adobe Bridge, Adobe Device Central, and Adobe Camera Raw (RAW). Alongside Photoshop, Adobe developed and published Photoshop Elements, Photoshop Lightroom, Photoshop Express, Photoshop Fix, Photoshop Sketch, and Photoshop Mix. As of November 2019, Adobe has also released full version of Photoshop for the iPad and will intentionally limited Adobe Flash to bring more features to Photoshop for iPad. Collectively, they are branded as the Adobe Photoshop family. नेक्स्ट हमें फोटोशॉप का इमेज स्क्रीन पे नज़र आएगा। ओपन फोटोशॉप। इस इमेज में हमें RMYK, RGB, RYK और टूल्स दिखाए गए हैं। एडिट किया गया एक फ्लावर की पिक भी हमें नज़र आ रही है। स्क्रीन पे वाजिया दिखाई दे रही है। नेक्स्ट हम पढ़ेंगे फाइल फॉर्मेट। फाइल फॉर्मेट में हम फोटोशॉप की फाइल्स की डिटेल्स पढ़ेंगे। फोटोशॉप फाइल हैव default extension as PSD, which standard for Photoshop document. A PSD file store an image with support for most imagine options available in Photoshop. These include layers with mask, transparency, text, alpha channels, and support colors, with clipping pass and duotone settings. This is in contrast to many other file formats, JPEG or GIF, that restrict content to provide streamlined, predictable functionality. A PSD file has maximum height and width of 30,000 pixels and a length limit of 2 gigabytes. Photoshop files sometimes have the file extensions PSB, which standard for Photoshop Big, also known as large document format. A PSB file extends the PSD file format. increasing the maximum height and width to 33 lakh pixels and the length limit or around 4 exabytes. The dimension limit was apparently chosen arbitrarily by Adobe, not based on computer. As of software testing, PSD and PSB formats are documented. Because of Photoshop popularity, PSD files are widely used and supported to some extent by most computing software, including open source free software such as GIMP. The PSD5 format can be exported to and from Adobe other apps like Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Premiere Pro, and After Effects. इमेज में हमें कैट्स की भी एडिट की हुई नज़र आ रही है. नेक्स्ट हम पढ़ेंगे फोटोशॉप टूल्स. Photoshop tools. Open loading Photoshop a slider with a variety of tools with multiple image editing functions appears to the left of the screen. These tools typically fall under the categories categories of drawing, painting, merging and negativations, instructions, typing and retouching. Some tools contain a small triangle in the bottom right of the toolbox icon. These can be these can be expanded to revolve similar tools. Whenever versions of Photoshop are updating to include new tools and features. Several recurring tools that exist in most versions are discussed below. In some newer version having vision never version hovering along the tools give a small video glimpse of tool. नेक्स्ट हमें एक प्रॉपर पिक दिखाई गई है. टूल्स, एडिट, कलर, etc. नेक्स्ट हम पढ़ेंगे नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में हम फोटोशॉप के कीवर्ड्स पढ़ेंगे, कीज पढ़ेंगे और टूल्स.